and good holy everyone. I am Elgen Beringuela, your future educator, together with my co-groups. In this video, we'll discuss the process for unpacking curriculum standard and competencies, which is one of essential tasks of teachers in implementing the K-12 basic education curriculum. For our objective, at the end of the lessons, the learner will be able to discuss the process for unpacking curriculum standard, experience unpacking curriculum competencies to identify appropriate instructional strategies and assessment tools. But first, let us define what is unpacking. Unpacking is a pedagogical strategy that teachers commonly employ to better understand and successfully implement educational requirements into their curricula. It is a technique teachers can use to make sense of standard and then create focused learning targets to make them actionably. Why unpack? To serve as your guide in lesson planning, to make the learning targets easier to achieve for students. The Department of Education, its Memorandum Order No. 8 Series of 2015, defined curriculum standard and competencies as content standard. Identify and set the essential knowledge and understanding that should be learned by the student. Performance standard. Describe the abilities and skills that the learners are expected to demonstrate in relation to the content standard and integration of 21st century skills. Learning competencies. Prepare the knowledge, skills, understanding that learners need to demonstrate in every lessons or activity.
There are several steps in unpacking curriculum standards and competencies. Step 1. Classify standard as knowledge, skills, and values. Step 2. Identify the prerequisite knowledge, skills, values for each learning competency. Step 3. Look for the desired skills or behavior in every competency. Identify the most suitable activity for each desirable behavior. And lastly, Step 4. Classify learning competencies to determine appropriate assessment tools. This process is based on the works of Blackhorn, 1998.
5 P's in unpacking curriculum, often referred to a framework for understanding and planning curriculum. They stand for purpose, preparation, pitch, pace, and progress.
Now, let's talk about other techniques for unpacking curriculum standard and competencies. Some teachers also use the taxonomy of educational objectives for unpacking curriculum standard and competencies. The taxonomy for educational objectives were developed and published by Bloom in 1956. The Bloom's taxonomy has become popular for teachers especially in development instructional objectives. According to Bloom, educational objectives can be categorized into 3 domains. First, the cognitive domain. This is the most commonly used domain. It deals with the intellectual side of learning. Second is the affective domain. This domain includes objectives relating to interests, attitudes, and values relating to learning the information. And last is the psychomotor. This domain focuses on motor skills and action that require physical coordination.
Blo Taxonomy is one of the most recognized learning theories in the field of education. Educators often use Bloom's taxonomy to create learning outcomes that target not only subject matter but also the depth of learning want students to achieve, and then to create assessment that accurately report on students' progress towards these outcomes according to Anderson and Prattle 2001. Fink 2023 also presented an alternative taxonomy for categorizing different types of learning outcomes. It is known as Fink taxonomy of significant learning. Unlike Bloom's original and revised taxonomies, Fink is non-hierarchical, with each element interacting with one another to stimulate other kinds of learning, according to Fink 2005.
Now you have idea about unpacking curriculum. So, in conclusions, the implementation of the K-12 education program, unpacking curriculum is useful for teachers, especially when they design their instructional plans and when they design assessment tools. Teachers need to have pedagogical content knowledge in order to unpack curriculum standard and competencies effectively. This helps educator identify the knowledge and abilities that students must have in order to successfully meet their objective and ensures that classroom activities are aligned with the intended learning outcome. Analyzing standard further allow educator to improve educational quality and student performance.